pressures from HUD, pressures from the client, pressures from the boss to get things done. No extra money.
This is not the workshop to stress you out. This is the workshop to help you cope with the stress that you're under. Stress kills, right? And that in order to be able to preserve their lives, that they need to better understand how to manage the stress that's in their lives.
You're dealing with the borrower, you're dealing with the lender, you're dealing with the investor, and there's so many other participants within that whole scenario. I'm only one element. I cannot control this entire process because it's dependent upon too many other elements. So as being just one person, there's but so much I can do.
Handling like 4 different hats in the agency, there just doesn't seem to be enough time. I feel a very strong responsibility to these people, and so I work really hard up till 8, 9 o'clock at night. Then I have classes that we give out, 2 days a week till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking my life is flying away, and I don't have a life. I don't have me.
You're not going to be able to sustain yourself in this work if you're emotionally attached to every person that comes into your office.
I had a client, an elderly woman who only spoke Spanish, was a victim of a scheme where she essentially signed over her home and was a renter in it. She also happened to have brain cancer. I ran into her on the street. She whispered to me, she said, "Alex, sometimes I have these thoughts." And she essentially was telling me that she was thinking of taking her life. I had never felt so useless in my entire life as I did on that moment.
If someone is in your office and they're going through a really hard time and you put yourself emotionally in it, it's almost like you're going through it with them. That's not necessarily the best place that you want to be in doing this work. Being sympathetic to someone's situation is understanding what they're going through. There's different types of stress. There's good stress, there's bad stress, there's neo-stress, there's distress, and there's chronic stress. Good stress is that feeling that you may have when you were in school and you knew there was a big test that you needed to take and you stayed up and you studied for it and you were a little anxious when you went in there, but that's exactly what you needed to make yourself very sharp, okay? Because what stress does, stress triggers what they call the fight or flight syndrome. But then there's also bad stress. Neo-stress is being able to feel the stress of a situation that you're not necessarily actively involved or engaged in through any kind of family or any other personal situation as well. So that's the stress that we may feel with someone else that might be experiencing something. Distress is something that kind of comes on us real quickly and we feel overwhelmed with the situation. Chronic stress is something which is ongoing. It happens on an ongoing and recurring basis. When you are experiencing chronic stress and going through chronic stress, you're in an up and down all day long, and your body physiologically is going through a lot of changes, a lot of ups and downs. When you're getting that fight or flight syndrome that's kicking in, and your body is not fighting or flighting or running, then there is that residual effect that's left. Some healthy ways of being able to cope with stress. Exercise. That's another one. Family Feud. Bing. Yoga. Go out dancing with your spouse. I like that. Have a date too, Just take a break. Right. Get up, take a walk, get away from your desk. Most of you eat lunch at your desk. You stop doing that, right? Stop eating lunch at your desk. Get up and leave. Leave the building. So what I'm going to share with you are some self-care strategies that you can use. Sleep. So there is a fine line, that you have to dance on. It's like, okay, well, I've got enough sleep that my body is able to cope with the stress that I'm dealing with, right? Because if it's not healthy, then it's going to break down on you. Exercising regularly. Endorphins, are released during exercise. They're also released during laughter. Most times when folks hear regular exercise, they think that's, go to the gym, that means take a class, that means do this and that. Regular exercise could be nothing more than a 30-minute walk. If you can just commit to walking 30 minutes every day, you would see a remarkable change just in your attitude and the way that you feel. Walking around the office does not count. No, you have to get outside, get some fresh air, get a little change of scenery, maintain social support. Now, women are very good at this, men not so much. It's important that you find somebody that you can maintain some social support with, that you're able to share what you're experiencing as well. Find hobbies, and I put quote-unquote downtime. That is a period when you're not working, your children are not bothering you, your spouse is not bothering you. So it is quote-unquote downtime, I always say, is like my time. Pamper yourself. Again, women are really good at this. Go get a massage. And guys, go get a massage too, because guess what? Massages are not just for women, they're for men as well. And I have reading up here, but when I mean read about also things that will help you to mitigate stress also. Other things is having the right attitude. A positive attitude will take you a really long place. You know, a lot of folks say, you know, be very optimistic, but also say be very real. If a family is going to go into foreclosure, and you know that that's going to happen, be real with yourself. The family is going into foreclosure. Your next mode of thinking should be, well, how do we create a soft landing for this family? Because you're not going to be able to help everybody. Process your emotions. Maintain a spiritual practice. Laughter. There are really moronic shows that are on TV that I watch. My wife says, I don't understand why you watch that. I said, I watch it because I want to laugh, because that is healing for me. Music, I heard dancing mentioned, but also music. Each of us has our own individual song. When that going gets tough, you know, you cut that song on, all of a sudden you get inspiration. You know, Rocky had his song, you have yours as well. I have gardening up here. Is anyone in here a gardener?
When I'm feeling upset and angry and the soil is hard, I can just grab that shovel and just really, you know, and there's a time of that year where you just say, okay, I'm gonna, you know.
You can just take it out on the soil, right? The ability to feel like you're taking care of something, right, that it's growing. Now, what's not listed up here, which is almost in that same, is pets. Now, what I want to talk about is some of the introspective stress relievers. Self-care strategies are ones that you can do on an ongoing basis, and you can see some of the benefits from them. The introspective stress relievers are actually really, really powerful, but take a little bit more time to catch on. Journaling, writing down your emotions, writing down how you feel about a situation. Meditation, and there are many, many forms of meditation that are out there. Self-hypnosis is a way of being able to, as I said, hypnotize yourself to be able to put suggestions into what's called your subconscious mind. Talk about it. It's really important for folks who are engaged in this work, that it's important for you to be able to talk to one another about this work also. Last one on here is affirmations. What makes an affirmation powerful is that it's said with the belief that it is what it is. Not necessarily what I want to be, so affirmations cannot be conditional. Then there's those situations and those times where you need to break glass in case of emergency because I need to calm down now. One of those things, and it was mentioned earlier, was to get up and take a walk. Taking a deep breath and deep breathing will also help to release some of the stress and things that you're experiencing. Take a mental break. You know, how many of you are meeting with clients and as soon as you finish with one client, another client is in your office? Okay, stop that. One of the things that when you feel stress, guess what? You feel it in your body physically. But what progressive muscle relaxation is, these balls right here. Squeeze it, hold it for a little bit, and then release it. Here are some different things that you can do at work to help you to be able to deal with stress. Have the proper social service referrals in place. Building in downtime, maybe 10, 15 minutes between one case and another. Group check-ins. Spread the workload. Offering stress management workshops for your counselors, those of you who are managing counselors. If you're a manager, you may want to go around to your folks and say, hey, it's time for you to take a break. I developed an affirmation for you all. Now, these are words that I wrote for you all. I do all I can every day to be of service to those around me, including myself. I'm filled with energy to do all the daily activities in my life. My work is always recognized positively. I would ask you that if you decide to go with an affirmation, that you take something similar to the way that this is written and write something personal for yourself. Whatever it is that you say, that you believe in, right? That it's not contingent upon if this happens, then I'll do that. And that is something that's very positive and uplifting for you personally. The one thing that I really want them to walk away with is that the ability to be able to take care of themselves will allow them to be able to take better care of others.